So, Assassin's Creed Shadows. It is now Sunday, 8:49 p.m. on Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. Now, I said that we would give Assassin's Creed Shadow the weekend. It came out on what, Thursday? And just like everyone likes to make excuses for games, it came out on a Thursday. People are still working and they don't have time to play it. Okay, well, we gave it the weekend. And you want to know how many people on Steam played it? You ready for this? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days. And I was right on the money. I said it would get 60 to 70,000 players. I knew no one was going to play this game. And this is just Steam. And while, yes, it is just Steam, again, Steam is a very good indicator of how popular a game is. So if the numbers are this low on Steam, even on console, it's not going to be that great. It's not. And the fact is that we have people like PC or places like PC Gamer and Stevie Bonafide and Bonafide Lovin', the type that makes you feel old. No, Stevie Bonafield. Still, they're still going with this 2 million players. Who cares? I have 2 million grains of rice. Okay, well, how many bags of rice did you have to buy? So, 2 million players. I've said before, I think it was today or whatever, but Dragon Age: The Failguard, Star Wars Outlaws, still they did the same thing. They were like, "Oh, we have like 1 million players first day, 1 million players the first day." You want to know how long it took Dragon Age: The Failguard to sell 1 million copies? 3 months. There's other ways for these people to play games without purchasing the game directly, whether it be a subscription service or what they were doing with not only this game but the Failguard, where it's like, oh, buy Nvidia's this or that, and you get Dragon Age: The Failguard for free. I saw someone Ubisoft giving out some game codes for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now they think that substituting these numbers, the 2 million, is going to trick people. The only people it's tricking are the fucking idiots online. That's all it's doing. It's meant to look good for them, and they think it's going to look good for investors. But investors don't give a crap about how many players are playing. What they care about is how much money the game is making. So they want to know how many units, how many physical or digital copies, how many have sold, because they're not going to invest in a game or a company if that company isn't making money. They will invest money when the company makes money. If the company doesn't make money, then those investors are not going to invest. So who cares if the game has 2 million players playing? How much money has it made? That determines success. And these people are supposed to be college educated. I don't know why it's so hard to comprehend this. Players doesn't equal success. Success is how many units have sold. Assassin's Creed just hit another milestone, putting it just a katana slash away from becoming the biggest game in the series. Which that's even then, that's still not exactly the best thing. Because again, we're talking about Steam. This and keep in mind, this is worldwide. This number right here, that's not a town or a country or city or state or continent. This is worldwide. This number is pathetic for worldwide. When you have a game that just came out like Monster Hunter Wilds, within the first couple of hours, it had over 2 million players. And they told you how many units the game sold, and that's how I was able to see that it made over $96 million in just a couple of hours, because they said how many units had sold, because they were proud of how many units had sold. But here we have Shadows like, oh, we got Ubisoft, oh, we got 2 million players playing the game. You get 2 million. Yeah, you said this. BioWare said the same thing about Dragon Age The Failguard. Oh, we have 1 million, 2 million players, and it took them 3 months to sell 1 million copies. So I don't understand where people are having such difficulty understanding this. Oh, fun fact: there's no comment section on that article because they know fine well what they're doing. Wouldn't want to be corrected now, would they? Shadow success is much needed. What success? Again, the players, the investors don't give a flying fuck about how many players are playing. They care about the money. How many units have been sold? Because again, if the company is making money, then they have more reason to invest in said company. If you go to investors and you say, well, we've got about 2 million players, it's like, I don't care. How much money are you making? And Blizzard used to, I don't know if they still do, and I think it started back with Warlords of Draenor, where they just kind of stopped giving numbers completely. But they were just kind of giving player numbers instead of like, oh, this many copies of the expansion sold, because, or just other certain numbers, because they saw that people were just unsubscribing from the game because Warlords of Draenor was so bad. But they had to trick everyone to making them think like, oh yeah, this is a great expansion, everyone's loving it. So they would fudge the facts a little bit, kind of pull a little genjutsu with the numbers. But again, investors are the ones who aren't fooled, unlike the fucking morons on Twitter who are doing mental gymnastics trying to jerk these freaking companies off. Instead of just admitting that they made a bad product, these people can take the D perfectly fine, but they have some reason have a problem taking the L. Instead of just saying, you know what, yeah, the game's bad. It's like, no, the game sold though. The game, it's got 2 million players. Okay, how many people have bought it? You have so many ways of getting the game right now, from what, Ubisoft Plus to free game codes to buy this NVIDIA or Intel product and get the game for free. So how many people have gone out or gone online and purchased the game for $70? There you go. The game, had it sold, so here, 2 million players times $70. If it actually made this much money in a couple days, I mean, I would be bragging about it. That's a good number. Monster Hunter Wilds, just a couple of hours, sold enough copies, and they made about $96 million. Because it was a good number. That much money in so short of a time, that's a good number. So why wouldn't they go with this? If they really sold that many copies, why aren't they saying, hey, thanks for making the game a financial success? But instead, no, you got people bending over backwards and doing these mental gymnastics. Oh, there are 2 million players. Who fucking cares? Who cares? Players don't seem to have been deterred by the culture war controversy drummed up in the lead up to Assassin's Creed Shadows, which saw predominantly Western influencers and other commentators spreading a racist reaction. No, it was more than just racist reactions. It was the fact that Ubisoft at every turn was just disrespecting Japan as a whole. And even in the game, apparently, like I think it's Yasuke's the final battle with for Yasuke. Apparently, there's like lyrics in the song that's playing saying "Ching Chong." Like, are you fucking serious? Are you kidding me? Like the only Black Samurai co-protagonist Yasuke through complaints of historical accuracy, which is what Ubisoft themselves said they were going for. We want to respect Japan and their rich culture. We've always dreamt of having a game, an Assassin's Creed game, set in feudal Japan, and we want to show that our love for Japan and their rich history is just as great as Japan's itself. And yet they do everything in their power to shit all over Japan's history. Maybe that's why people were upset. Not just because of Yasuke, but because of every other decision they made. Between the music they chose, to the fact that they were using Chinese architecture instead of Japanese architecture. It had nothing to do with just Yasuke. This is, once again, these fucking morons trying to use racism as a freaking, get out of free card. It must be so exhausting being this intellectually inept, where every time something happens, you need to pull out that race card. Like, it's because of racism. It's because of all those evil far-right Donald Trump supporters. Not because of the freaking company disrespecting an entire freaking country. No. It's because of the evil white people being racist. You want to talk about evil people being racist? Evil white people? Let's talk about Ubisoft. Because they were more racist than anyone else. Both Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed Shadow subreddit ultimately said enough is enough, refusing to give the outrage cycle any more oxygen. The game has received mostly positive reviews, including 81.7% Steam reviews at the time of writing. Also, freaking IGN gave the game like an 8 out of 10. Because, of course, it's IGN. Actually, yeah, apparently this is the person who wrote it. Players don't equal sales. How is it this hard? Right out of the gate. Who specializes in gaming gear and accessories. Well, I'll specialize in gaming gear and gaming accessories, I'll tell you what. Reports that Assassin's Creed Shadow has hit 2 million players. Cool. Yeah, exactly. Who fucking cares? They're making a big deal out of that. Let me spell it out for anyone who's still confused here, including Stevie. Players engaged includes anyone who booted up the game via Ubisoft Plus, Game Pass, friend sharing, or borrowed accounts. It adds in Steam players who have purchased the game and returned it for a full refund within the first 2-hour window. It includes the free copies given out with every Intel processors. It was, I think it was NVIDIA for Dragon Age the Failguard. For all we know, if Ubisoft is being funny with the numbers, it could even count every single time the game is booted up. Units sold means, well, someone actually bought and paid for the game. Like this, right here. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, 2 million copies sold. That is an achievement. That is what happens when you are proud of your numbers and when you actually sold that many copies. Those two things are not the same. In fact, they aren't even in the same galaxy. You think a supposed journalist would know that? Come on, that's asking too much. You have a better chance of learning how to walk on the frickin' sun. We're living in an era where clickbait and parroting corporate press releases counts as reporting. I refuse to believe that someone could really be this stupid. I mean it. And yeah. Ubisoft is playing the PR game, and PC Gamer is helping. Yeah, that's all it is. And again, it may fool the freaking morons like them, like Stevie Bonifield and the other idiots on Twitter, but it doesn't fool investors. Investors don't give a flying crap about how many players are playing. They care about the numbers, as in the money. How many people have bought the game? Because they need a reason to invest in your company. If you're not making money, you're not going to be invested in. They're going to say, well, the game is doing terrible. It hasn't made a lot of money. I don't think we're going to invest in any of your projects. They don't give a crap about players playing it. Because you see, there's so many ways that those numbers are counted up. So this is what they should be doing. 2 million copies sold. But games like Assassin's Creed Shadows and Dragon Age the Failguard, and I think Avowed and all these other games, Ubisoft did it when it came to Star Wars Outlaws. They're like, oh, it's 1 million players. Okay, great. How many copies of the game have sold? Oh yeah, you're not going to tell us that. In fact, it takes us months to find out how many copies actually sold. With Star Wars Outlaws, they're saying, oh, we had 1 million players, but then we find out that even after several months, the game still barely broke 1 million copies. Dragon Age the Failguard, they're like, oh, we have 2 million players, and then it took them 3 months to just sell 1 million copies. Like, I don't understand what's hard to understand about this. Why can't people just take the L and just say, yeah, the game's not selling? Why are they so hell-bent on just constantly these freaking corporations? It's okay to say that a company made a bad game. It's okay to say a company made a game that isn't selling well. You can stop jerking them off. Like, there are games I love, but I have no problem tearing them apart. I love Genshin. I tear into Genshin all the time because I'm getting tired of their bull crap. I love World of Warcraft, but I tear into them. Well, I just shouldn't say all the time, but, you know, if I see something, because I get tired of their fucking bull crap. So just because you like a game doesn't mean it's like, oh, it can do no wrong. Or, you know, oh, well, the company who makes this game can do no wrong. No, it's Ubisoft. They fuck up constantly. And just between the time they started with Assassin's Creed Shadows till release, so many mess ups. Some people at one point thought it was intentional because it was just constantly one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. So why are these people so afraid of saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, the game sucks. It didn't sell well. But instead, you got to constantly, oh my God, you leave big corporation alone. Oh, Ubisoft can do no wrong. And if they're failing, it's all the evil white man's fault because people are racist. Yeah, how's that fucking French jizz taste all, you know, freaking taste all up in your mouth? You love taking it in so much. But, yeah, these people who are supposed to be college educated, these people who are supposed to be free thinkers, these people who look down on people like us, who are just stupid right wingers and we're just dumb rednecks. These people don't seem to know the difference between copies sold and the player engagement. Ironic. So, anyway, yeah, the game is doing terrible. It's sold, or the concurrent player on Steam at least, I was right on the money. I said it would be, by the end of the weekend, it would be about 60, 70,000. I said it wasn't gonna get higher than that, and I was right. And yet, we still get looked at like we don't know what we're talking about. Again, worldwide, not a state, not a town, or no, worldwide, all over the world. America, Japan, India, Russia, China, all over the world. That's that number. That is a pathetic number. Which means adding in PlayStation isn't going to make it much better. But sure, keep doing that to the gaming companies. It's people like you who settle for numbers like that. And it's people like you who settle for numbers like that, giving these companies a reason to not make a quality product. Because they know that people like you will settle for bare minimum. They know that you will be paying $70 for a crap product and you won't say anything about it, and instead you'll just constantly defend them. Which is why they have no reason to put any effort into these games anymore, because of the people like you defending them. You want good games? You want to stop wasting $70, $80 on a slot product? Then you need to start speaking up. Stop defending companies. Stop it. You can admit that their game was bad. You can admit that it's not selling well. You shouldn't have to break your neck and back doing mental gymnastics just to defend the companies over and over and over and over when all they've done for the past couple of years. Look at Ubisoft last year. How many games they come out with? How many of them succeeded? There you go. And yet people keep defending them over and over and over and over. It's like they're following the definition of insanity of, doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting a different outcome. No, you people are the reason the games suck now, because they see that you're going to defend them no matter what. And that everyone else can just be passed off as a phobos and ism. But hey, what do I know? It's not like I guessed how many people would be playing by the end of the freaking weekend. What do I know? That's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.